I spend most of my nights smelling like a slice of 3-day-old Swiss cheese, and honestly, I have never felt more alive. People think being a raccoon is all about the heist, but I am here to tell you why my messy paws are actually my greatest superpower. For a long time, I was a pretty lousy raccoon because I had a massive problem with my attic, which is what I call the fuzzy brain inside my striped head. I used to spend all my time staring at shiny trash from a distance instead of just grabbing it. I would sit on a fence post for hours looking at a discarded sardine tin and thinking about how I could wash it perfectly, or how I could carry it without getting a single spot of oil on my chest fur. I was a sleepy raccoon, stuck in a loop of overthinking, while the sun was coming up and my stomach was growling. I thought I was being professional and disciplined by waiting for the perfect moment to strike, but really I was just a coward with a twitchy nose. I used to tell myself that I was just preparing for the ultimate feast, but that was a lie I told my own whiskers. I would find a decent piece of crusty bread in a bin, and instead of just eating the prize, I would take it to a puddle for one more scrub, and then another scrub, and one more rinse until the bread literally dissolved into mush between my fingers. I was so worried that the other raccoons would see a little bit of grit on my snack or some grime on my tail that I ended up with nothing at all. That is the trap of trying to be perfect. It feels like you are being responsible and careful, but it is actually just a sneaky way of hiding in the chimney because you are scared of what the neighborhood cats might think. I stayed hungry because I was too busy polishing my plan instead of just using my paws. The world today is full of these weird glowing rectangles that show images of raccoons who look like they have never even seen a dumpster. They have perfectly groomed fur and their masks are symmetrical, and they seem to find giant piles of grapes without ever getting a scratch. When I compared my muddy toes to those polished pictures, the gap felt so big that I just wanted to stay under the porch forever. I thought I needed more time to reach that level of perfection before I could show anyone my work. But while I was hiding and refining my technique, the world kept spinning. Other scrappy raccoons were out there getting their paws dirty and finding the good stuff. They were bringing muddy scraps to the feast, and even though their work was messy, they were the ones getting the calories. They had momentum, and I just had a very clean, empty stomach. It is a quiet tragedy when a raccoon keeps his best ideas locked in a hollow log because he thinks they aren't ready yet. You don't actually quit on your dreams, you just keep preparing them until the original energy of the idea totally evaporates. The first time I think about jumping into a new trash can, my instinct is alive and my heart is thumping. It is raw and real. But if I spend 10 nights analyzing the hinges and the weight of the lid, the excitement turns into a heavy burden. I start feeling cautious instead of curious. I lose that spark that makes a heist fun in the first place. The best things in life aren't the ones that are perfectly engineered by a machine. They are the ones that feel human and carry the small imperfections that prove a real, living, breathing creature was actually there. If scrubbing our snacks until they disappear removes the very soul of the feast, then why are we all still chasing that imaginary clean glow? It is because staying in the shadows feels safe. It gives us the illusion that we are in control of the outcome. By endlessly reworking our stuff, we convince ourselves we are being elite master scavengers when we are actually just avoiding the vulnerability of being seen with a messy face. But let me tell you what I learned after many cold nights in the rain. Momentum always beats precision. A muddy prize in your hand is worth 1,000 perfect ones in your head. Every imperfect draft and every rough experiment is a step up the tree for a better view. So here's my advice from one trash panda to another. Bring your muddy scrap to the feast today. Share that half-baked idea or record that shaky video before your attic brain convinces you to bury it in the backyard. Stop one more scrub in the puddle and just let the world see the grime. The energy you get back from finally taking action is what fuels your growth and connects you to the rest of the pack. Perfection is not your friend, and it certainly won't feed you. Your messy, vital work is the only thing that matters.